closer.
I understand.
You can hit the button.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
I slept pretty good. I'm, you know, could use a little bit more sleep, I think. Sounds like a nap. Am I making you dizzy?
Don and I are going to take Jules out for a drive around town, and this time I'm driving. So I really don't want to get in the car and back it out of the garage, but I also do want this to be a full Maryann drive experience. So I have the app up on Jules and not on Ruby, and I am going to unplug the car. It seems like I can do that. Can I do that? It's just a little tight because it's new, a little tighter than I was expecting. Alright, I saw the charge port doors closed. That's what I would have expected. This is nice and tight over here, which is why I'm not thrilled about getting inside the garage, but I'm going to be very careful. Don does have that nice piece of foam there. I have to be careful of my blue jeans pockets too, though, because alright, well, my shirt is over top of any metal on my blue jeans pockets. I have to be really careful about that too. Pockets with doodads are not good for cars. Alright, I'm in, and I didn't bang, bump, or hurt anything, so that's good. I need to get the garage door open. I am going to let Don come handle the garage door for me. Pause a second though to not let the heat in. I'm going to switch the profile to my profile. It did not switch for me. And of course Don has the seat totally where I can't drive the car to save my life pretty much. So I'm trying to get the seat in a better position for me. Oh, you're going to give me a working garage door opener? That's so sweet. Okay, I'll open it when I'm ready. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's see. I think the steering wheel is good enough. I have no clue about the mirrors. I'll have to check them outside. I'm going to stop filming while I back up. Since I need the mirrors, I am finding that I am having to make this adjustment before I leave. So I'm scrolling down so I can see, because I can't really see. Maybe not down quite that far. Well, let me get them adjusted. Let's see. I can't tell what gear I'm in. That's right. My foot's on the brake. I'm still in reverse the whole time I adjusted the mirrors, which of course I was adjusting them in reverse, so that made sense. And then, yeah, Don's having him a good laugh up there. Well, I helped you when you were in the driver's seat. Just remember, I have to have creep or I can't get out of the garage. That's just, I'm sorry guys, but that's just the way it is. Don't shame people that like creep or low regen. That's why you have options, no shaming. Yeah, I can see pretty much if I want to take Jules out for the day, which is I may do, and Don doesn't care. But I will be looking at Don and going, will you go pull Jules out for me? Well, just like he pulls Ruby out for me. It's really not any different.
It's just more productive in the mornings. She's got 4 things that are going on.
Don's adjusting dash cams for me.
Yeah, she's got a lot of things going on in the mornings, and so it's just easier.
It's tight over there on Jules' driver's side, and let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. When I moved over, Don let me put my plant cart on the other side because there wasn't another good place for it, and I didn't want to lose it, and let's just go with that. I have to say I felt adjusting the mirrors was more difficult. Although, let's think about this for a second. You've just got to get them where you want in your profile. And let's just say once a year you have to, for some reason, you have to redo the profile. It's not like I'm going to be doing that all the time. So who cares if it's a little harder, but it was using the scroll wheel because Ruby has controls on the door panel for adjusting the mirror, and it makes it super easy to adjust. So this was a little more difficult for me. My own personal problem, I'm sure. So in Ruby, I cannot reach the bottom of the glass when I'm in the car, and I have the car in park now, and I've taken my seatbelt off, and I'm going to lean forward, and I would say I'm 2 inches closer in the Y, but I'm also gonna say if I really want to clean the bottom of the windshield, I'm gonna use this thing. I pulled it out of Ruby. I use it all the time. Now I can get down there and I can really clean, you know, and then a lot of times when Johnny and I'd be driving to school, I'd hand it to Johnny and go, you clean that side now, sweetie. Yeah, so you got to be light on the bottom of that. You don't want the rough underside to hit, but that will work. So not as far in the Y as the X, but it's still pretty far. I probably still want the duster when I'm going to clean the inside of the window. So I wanted to get out of the car and run back into the garage before we take off, and I automatically tapped car and went to hit the door button screen to open my door, and of course I can't, and now I have to remember that this is the proper door button.
That's right.
I'll be right back, Donnie.
Yes, sweetheart.
I tried to get Don to get an S because I wanted the same controls in both cars, and they're much more similar, very similar in comparison to the Y and the X. However, that would not solve the door problem because we can't do the doors in the S either. And we have something that we wanted to put in Jules, and it's not where I thought it was, so I'm gonna have to give it some thought. I was looking for this brand new pop-up trash can. It can stick to the floor, or what Don usually ends up doing is putting Velcro, so it Velcros to the rug. And I also got my fancy tissue box we used to have in the 3. He'll be thrilled about me putting that in the car. That one didn't pop quite far enough. You'll be thrilled I brought my tissue box.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Johnny and I, we can't go anywhere without a tissue box. At least getting in and out of this car is like getting in and out of Ruby.
Yes.
At least that is a small saving grace. Well, now that I'm in and situated, I'm not expecting any issues actually driving the Model Y, as long as I don't need to put on autopilot, because I'm going to be confused about the controls. Every time I drive after Don, he would put it back up if it would come to him, because he doesn't like to cause me trouble, but inevitably I get in and then the seat belt is uncomfortable, so it's not like I can get very far without adjusting it. Grrr, you're not going to remember to put that one back down either?
Nope, but I could. I go put it down. I'm not driving, so I don't have to have maximum comfort.
So yesterday I tried to put the pink water bottle in the door pocket, which thank God this car has door pockets, but honestly it didn't fit. It did not fit.
Okay.
And in the X, you know, this being here's bothering me. They're supposed to be like here, back here. Or at least in the X, in the back, you get these pop-out cup holders from the center console, the back side of the center console. And in here, they're all the way in the middle of the back seat. So it's like, I want to get rid of these water bottles, and I can't get rid of them. That's where my phone and my camera and yeah, so Don did a far reach for me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it would be, these are not wide. These are not wide things, so I don't know why they won't fit in the side pocket. I would have thought they would have, but they don't. Don needs to see it for himself.
I don't understand. What's wrong?
Okay, it fit.
It
I don't
fits?
know why it wouldn't fit yesterday.
Well, because you don't put it in here.
No, I put it up in the front leaning. Okay, so that's doable at least.
All right.
I swear I tried it yesterday.
I understand. Well, it's just, you know, I love my pretty girl.
This man is not going to get in trouble with me. But he says that when he wants to make sure he's not getting in trouble. I have adjusted the seat about 3 more times over here at South Park, and I have to say that the seat belt was still sort of rubbing me, so I keep on trying to adjust it. Although I guess I drove with it, you know, it's sort of agitated now. Maybe if I got in tomorrow it would be different. But the divas talk a lot about seatbelt comfort, and it just, I don't know, sometimes it bothers me in Ruby, but not all the time. But typically more when I'm a passenger, after Johnny has been a passenger and changed the seat, because you can't change the passenger seat settings in the profile. I wish I could. I want the passenger seat, when I ride with Dawn, always in the same spot, because, and it's fair, Johnny likes it where he likes it, no problems there. But I can't, I have to figure out where it was again. I wish they would save the passenger seat settings, and I don't believe that's in any of the cars. So I'm still adjusting, trying to get this belt comfortable. So how do I engage traffic aware cruise control?
You just tap down on the gear selector twice. Well, once for traffic aware cruise control and twice for
so when it's already in drive, once down is traffic aware cruise control, and twice is autopilot.
Yeah, and you don't have to go all the way down. You can just move it down a little bit.
Well, when I start moving here after the light turns green, I'll try it.
Okie dokie. Yeah, just tap it down. Well, okay, it's set 45 miles an hour.
Alright.
And if you want to slow down, of course.
And then I've got, this is down.
Yeah, yeah, that slows it down.
Oh wow, that was weird.
Yeah, I understand.
And I do get that you can do.
Yeah, you can do that too.
That too. If you, well, this person behind me, I don't want to freak them out, but
yeah.
So if you hold your finger on it versus a quick hit, does it do 5 miles an hour at a time?
You know, I don't know. That I don't know.
We'll test it when there's not somebody behind us.
Okay, so here's the traffic light.
The answer is no.
I don't think it's going to stop. Yeah, you don't have.
Well, no, I don't have that enabled. Or
yeah, we haven't enabled on her profile. We haven't enabled all that.
Sorry, it's not smooth. The regen's a little different.
Yeah.
You know, in Ruby, I can make it so the passenger's not mostly not aware of it, but I don't have the foot, you know, adjustments smooth yet.
I think you're doing fine, Sweet Pea.
Well, I am a left-handed driver. I know I'm supposed to have both hands on the wheel. And I'm very used to manipulating traffic aware cruise control and autopilot with the left stalk on the X. And so it's totally different.
Yeah.
Trying to do it with the stalk over here on the side.
Yeah.
Well, it's a totally different feeling.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that, because I'm not particularly an adaptable person either, that we may have to, Maryann's just going to have to drive the X everywhere, and when we go in the Y, I'll drive the Y. You know, it's just because of the stock confusion.
Right, when I headed into the garage, I remind everyone my thoughts about S families or X families,
yeah.
Adding an S or an X, and 3 and Y families adding a 3 or a Y, and it's just so that you have the same controls in the car. And I know some folks want them to update the S and the X to look have the same controls as the 3 and the Y. I'm personally not a fan of that, but well, I guess I could sort of see it after a bit. Yeah. I'm just being careful with your car.
Don't worry about it, Sweet Pea.
This person was out in the middle of the intersection, probably causing concern for those people to come around, and I've gotten trapped out there before too, so I know all about how that happens. And then it's very nerve-wracking watching the people come around and almost not hit you. Goodness gracious, buddy. Oh, well, I did not appreciate that.
Well, but he did.
He did okay, but I didn't, and I'm not out that far. I'm out a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, just a little, but that's all right.
Well, I was going to turn on
there
red,
we go.
And then didn't, so.
My girl, she's a good driver. But yes, I think Tesla is going to have to probably update the controls for the S and the X to match the Y, because if you really do have two cars, I'm just telling you, I think it would be better to do one way or the other. I get the screen. I like the screen. I actually like the 3 screen just fine. I also enjoy the instrument cluster on Ruby.
I told him if he said anything negative about the X, he was in big trouble, so he better not. No, I'm kidding.
I like the instrument cluster on Ruby. I like the, you know, it's like I'll give you the instrument cluster and give me the big screen, but the sideways landscape screen. But honestly, the stocks, yeah, I think they're gonna have to go to this type of gear shift and get rid of the little autopilot.
Well, in my opinion, what they should do is they should have left the stock on the left side of the wheel over here, the autopilot stock, and then they should follow through on making Tesla profiles global between vehicles.
Elon promised that.
And then, like our friend Andy said, and I totally agree with him, let the driver program it. They want to use the right stalk and the scroll wheels, or they want to use the left stalk so that S and X and 3 and Y people can move between cars easier. So I think there's a better solution than forcing one or the other. It would have been really easy to have done either.
Right. But I would both. But I agree, Maryann is actually right. I'm liking her and Andy's idea, because it would be easier to add a little stock to the 3, keep the controls exactly the same, so that the X and S person could easily use that. The Model 3 person could use whichever one suited their style, because it would be very difficult to change all the controls on the S or X in existing cars to match the Y and the 3, but new 3s and new Ys, you know, they charge $300 for the HomeLink. Well, charge me $300 for the dummy autopilot stock for us few families who want that. I think that's an absolutely good idea. I guess we should send that in to Tesla.
Yeah. I just want to drive about a mile more north. The rain looks like it's right there, but it's actually a few more miles than that, so I can test out autopilot. I have enough roadway here to do that.
She's in autopilot now, but we've not enabled the advanced things on her profile.
Yeah, I guess we forgot to do that. Let me hold on the plus sign, and it did do 5.
Okay, so it did do 5. So if you touch and hold the plus, and I assume if you hold the minus, it'll slow down 5.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. I did not know.
I won't be touching the scroll wheel anymore. I literally can't stand the sound. Don, when he was like flicking it yesterday, I'm like, no, stop. I don't like that noise. I like my nice quiet car.
And everybody knows if you double tap the speed limit sign, that goes to that speed.
Right, if you're not currently. Apply light force. I'm sorry, Jules.
That's all right, sweetie. Well, when we make our stop, we'll go in and try the stop, activate
right,
we'll
the stop light. The stuff. I wanted a few minutes in the car to get used to the changes in the car before I did that. Tried those other things. You know, Don and I've used autopilot before. Obviously, traffic aware cruise control. We've driven the Tesla before, so those weren't new things to us. But I wouldn't recommend your first day into Tesla turn on everything at once. How about get used to regen, try traffic aware cruise control and get used to that, then add in autopilot and other stuff. And that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, well, I would, especially coming from some other car, because
I want to get left. So.
I knew about Teslas and all that kind of stuff, but between the touch screen and all the settings and the different things, that could be overwhelming. all those things hitting you, and then you're still trying to drive the car. So I'm agreeing with Maryann. I strongly recommend maybe you use creep mode initially. You put it in
low regen.
You do all those things.
Take a day or two.
And just get your breath and get over that just bouncing zeal or whatever. And then you ease in, then you go back in and start tweaking things. And but then the other thing I would say is never let your first impression when you turn on, like you turn creep off, don't creep out. Give it some time. Say, I will give everything at least a full day before I dismiss it. You know, as I can't do it. So that would be my recommendation. So the bicycle is showing up on the screen.
Oh, he was.
Well, he just
moved a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit over to the edge.
Yeah, I want to say that switching autopilot, it's kind of like testing out bifocals. The doctor says you got to wear them for a week. You got to give your eyes a chance to acclimate. I meant regen. It's the same thing with regen. Turn it on and be committed to using it for a week.
Yeah, even
and then, you know, if you use it 5 days and you can't stand it, then we can talk about turning it back off. But
right, yeah, I instantly like the one pedal driving, or near one pedal driving that Ruby has, and I like the one pedal driving here that Jules has. You know, true one pedal driving even better. So I am definitely a non-creep type person. Although I have to tell you, and I told Maryann this, I think they need to do the creep in reverse. In other words, no creep when I'm in drive, but when I'm in reverse, turn creep on, and I'll just use the brake pedal to stop the vehicle and stuff like that. I like that. I think it's a little, I could be smoother.
Don backs out of the garage in my profile most mornings when I was headed to school because he likes creep backing out. He just doesn't want any part of it when he's driving on the road.
That's right.
And there's no option to do that.
Yeah.
I suppose you could create a backup profile too to get around that, but.
Well, the problem is that's one of the few things you can't switch.
This is true.
So,
you cannot switch that on the fly.
Yeah, so you'd actually have to, if you left the house with your creep profile and you got up to the heading out of your subdivision, you say, oh crap, I got creep on, I want hold or whatever, you'd actually have to stop, put it in park, go to the screen, switch it, and that is such a pain. So I would say creep is one of the few things you cannot conveniently switch in your profile, because it won't let you change while the car is in motion, that particular setting. And there's other settings also, but that particular one is the one you noticed immediately.
Well, I had to pick the longest light in the entire planet.
That's all right, sweetheart.
Don says I should try auto park, and I'm like, no. Well, see, it wants to go between, well, though it did put up the P there. You can just walk over to where you're going. I'm just gonna wimp out and come over. You are the auto park god.
Okay.
I auto park at the school every once in a while.
I understand.
But let me see how my mirrors are here, because I'm like 18 inches away from the curb.
Right.
And now I can get back over a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm using the mirrors so I can totally see. Yeah. Even if you don't want to do that all the time, you should have a profile set so that when you really need them down, you can. So let's go in and look at my autopilot settings. Yeah, I basically don't have anything on. Well, that's because I didn't think to do it at the house. I just assumed stuff is enabled in the Tesla, and it wasn't. So now it is. I like a farther cruise follow distance. This is not New York City or Los Angeles. And let's see, let's just double check all my settings. Well, let's see, we'll start at the beginning and we'll double check all of my settings. I already fixed the display brightness. That I could tell was not right when I came in, so. Because we have a garage with the garage door opener, we don't normally leave the headlights on when we get out. That looks good. We have turned. Probably want average. I'm gonna say yes. No, who wants that? I guess chime. I don't need it to, I'm an anti-vibrate. Back here there was one other. Yeah, I'm not going to put some in standby on right now. We'll put it on when we're going to try it. Well, we don't have a fob, so what is there to, I guess on the app, continuous press. Yeah, it's probably okay for now. Alright.
Hey, we figured out how to turn the windshield wipers on. Hardy har har.
And they said them on auto, I guess.
Yes, I have them on auto now. And of course it's really easy. You just tap the little thing that looks like a windshield wiper.
Well, it's on the stalk over here too, apparently.
Yeah, well, I think that's like the washer. I don't know. You can push that anytime you want, and we'll see what it does.
I could do something with it over there.
Well, it must be because I've pushed it before by mistake.
And they went.
Yeah. So it at least does that, and so if you probably hold them down, it probably turns on the washer. If you push it down, it just wipes once. And if you hold it down, it probably does the wash thing, would be my guess. But who reads the manual? Now she's trying her traffic light stuff.
I haven't. I'm not in cruise control, so it's
well,
not.
You got the perfect example right here.
Okay. You want me to see if she's stopping at 300 feet?
Yeah, here it comes.
But what do I have to do to make it go?
Just tap down.
Tap it down again, like
once
I'm
you're ready
engaging
to go,
cruise control again?
Just bump it. In fact, you don't have to push it down very far. You just push it down a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't actually have to, quote, click. Kyle, on our trip to...
Well, look what it's doing with the turn signal lane here. It's sort of like...
Oh, it's following
red, green, yellow, red. It's like...
Yeah. Ooh, he ran a red light. Red light runner. We got it on video.
Yeah. A long time ago, it was a yield, but not anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's right turn on red after stop, unless it specifically said against it. But that was, you got to stop and then turn right. Not just go right. Of course, you know, we're very close to
Dairy Queen. We're not going to Dairy Queen today.
Not going to the Dairy Queen. What'd you think, sweetie?
It was easy enough to tell the car to go.
Yeah, I think
I didn't have any problems with it. Works intuitively.
Yeah.
It's not seen this light up here, but knows about this light.
Yeah, well, it's going to see this back of this truck first. Especially with that big orange Bobcat on it, or whatever that is.
Yeah, well, that was a good test back there as the lead car in one of the major intersections and a red light in Fuquay. So.
And there was plenty of other cars like stuck in the intersection and stuff like that. That was actually a very good test, because the cars that were in the intersection were not the cars that it should be using as a reference.
Now she's gonna make me have to confirm to go through this,
yes, that's right. Just tap down. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, this is actually not a nice intersection because it's not straight through the intersection. You actually have to move over going through it.
That's right.
So it's sort of not good.
Yeah.
What do you think all the people of Fuquay would think if they realized the car around them was, you know, deciding whether or not it should go through stoplights?
I don't know.
With a little help from the driver.
Yeah, well, the next step, you can see how...
These guys are speeding, and as you all know, the cops are over here at the Guardian Angel parking lot all the time. So, I'm not speeding past the Guardian Angel parking lot.
That's right.
I recommend if you go through Fuquay, that in this stretch of Main Street, or pretty much anywhere inside the city limits, you not speed, because
yeah,
normally while I'm out, I'm going to see several cop cars.
Yep.
And maybe this time they weren't there, but Guardian Angel looks pretty busy, by the way. But many times they are. They'll hide over here in RJ's place, or the old McDonald's restaurant, or over here by the train track, or, I mean, they are out to get people.
And we're talking in the paper today about the revenue drop.
You're gonna mention the...
Oh, there's a Model 3 wave. And they wave back.
I was gonna take a picture of Jules in front of the mural, but there's somebody else parked in front of the mural. There's never anybody parked there. What in the world? I'm not having a good luck taking a thumbnail picture of Jules today. That mural's blocked by some construction zone truck too, so. We got Jules back in the garage, no problem. We are having a pretty good summer thunderstorm. I see Tux is in the Panther spot. Not sure where Panther is at the moment. I'm sure he's taking cover too.